not, or not that we're not. We're going to start off with the ones that were right up here. We got a lot of those. I have to move these, so then we can get to the ones behind there. And then for the part 2 version of the video, we'll go over all of these after I change out the bins, as well as the ones that we have upstairs. So don't want to make the video too long, so I am going to make it in part 1, part 2 with all the different species that we have, some of the newer ones we got, but we're going to start off with some of the ones that we have right here, including like our emperor bees, and our Hoffman SE, and even all of our duckies. We don't have too much of a lot of these because we just started them off, but that is okay. We're going to have some fun with this video. Today, we are going to start off with the orange clown. Now, I don't have too many of these at the moment, but we do have enough where you can see a few of them. So like, as you can see, these bins are going to be watered, refreshed and watered today. I'm not going to do that within this video because that'll make the video extremely long, but we have a few of them hiding in different places. This is a newer species that we got, the orange clowns. We have not been having these guys long. I think within a month we got them, like not even a month ago. So we have not had much breeding or anything. I think we only got like 10 of them, and they like to hide. There are springtails in the enclosure, as you guys can see. Let me zoom out. There are springtails within all of the enclosures, and there's another one. It's two of them are hiding, or one's hiding and running away right there. So there's no babies in this one. So we're starting off with a miss with no babies, but that's okay. Like I said, newer bin, can't expect all of them to do well at all times. We could try our best, but they're going to breed when they want to breed. This is the humid side. Now, I do have holes on both sides of the bins. Some of the newer ones like these, you guys can see I don't have holes on both sides. I only have them on one, but I have more holes than normal. This one, Hoffman SE, I put the tag around, but the holes are on the other side. But let's go ahead, put this one down to the side, get into the next one, the Scabies ghosts, which these guys are going to start breeding for us a lot more. We don't have too many. You guys can see they're more in the soil. So here, let's zoom in. We got them right there. They like to really just stay down there. We're not breeding. A lot of these that are over here, we got our newer species for us. So they haven't been breeding a lot. We have some that have had success with babies early on. We have some where we probably have like 20 of these in here throughout the entire enclosure. And the enclosure's it's not dried out. Yeah, it's not dried out or anything like that. We just got them around Tinley, and Tinley was 3 weeks ago. So we have some some other ones that we're going to be putting in here. Some white pigeons. Let's look at those. These, I'm pretty sure were doing good for us last time that I took a look at these. Let's take a look. Let's flip that over. Yeah, there we go. So now we're starting to see a little bit more action in these. These guys have had babies. They're not in camera right now, which is weird. But with us needing to water them or needing to refresh some of them, some of the babies like to stay over here, but within the soil. I don't know why. Huh. Maybe it was the penguins, not the. There's a lot of the adults that are right there. See, there's one of the smaller ones, one of the juveniles. We have some of them throughout here. They're all having. I mean, we haven't lost any. I'm not seeing anything, any dead ones. I'm just seeing like, right there. I don't know where the other one went. Like the adults doing good. But let's take a look. So, like I said, once I water these, hopefully they'll come out. Maybe they're just in the dirt. I don't see any dead ones. Like, I know species like the Hoffman SE guys and stuff like it a lot drier. The warnery is, I think we only bought 6 of these, and we got them off of a trade with someone. To me, they look very similar to, there's one of them right there. They're very similar to the orange clowns. And these I've never done good with. I try them over and over again, and they live, and it's like they live until they die. But I had never had babies from these successfully. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If you guys know down in the comments, just write some other things that I'll try, and I'll make a short out of it just so you guys can have some updates. Because I'm not going to make videos out of it right now. But those are the 4 of some of our newer species. Now moving over to here, I know for sure I just put these in the bin maybe 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. That's how much we paid for them at Tinley. We got the T albinos, Silvestri. T albinos were given to us. We bought these, and we bought the Silvestri in Schaumburg, and that was back in July. It's October, so let's take a look at what this bin looks like now. These guys are awesome in color. I love how they look. There goes one right there. I love how these guys look. They have some nice coloration to them. They're kind of like lavas. You guys can see there. Here, let's see if we can pick that one up. They're kind of like lavas in their coloration, but it's just not as scattered around here. What's the best way to do this? Yeah, there they go. Nice coloration to them. We have some more adults right there. They don't get too big. There's one of the babies scattering around. These guys, like I said, it's only been a couple months, but there are babies starting to go all the way around. You guys can see them starting to move. And a lot of these will be like plenty of springtails. So I know the enclosure is not dried out because you guys can see all the springtails. So they'll get the humidity if they want it. But just having newer cultures, you can't expect them to breed. All of our, like I said, our most expensive, not our most expensive, our most prolific ones tend to be upstairs and not down here. But we do have some other ones, like let's go with, I'll skip over to one that I know has a good amount in there, and that's going to be our Hoffman SE guys, our Titan isopods. These guys are big, they are bold. Mine don't tend to hide as much, but I have a lot more under here. So you guys can see tons of babies, or enough babies, a lot of babies for me, because this is my first time actually successfully keeping them where they've had babies. At first, I thought they needed to be a lot more moist, which was the mistake that I made keeping these guys. But you guys can see I have a decent amount of Hoffman SE guys in here, and that is good for me. I like having that. Here, let's zoom in on some of those. It's hard doing it with two hands or with just one hand, but these guys are huge. Like you guys can see my thumb next to one of the adults. It is like the size of my thumb, and my hands can fit over a blank piece of paper. So I don't have smaller hands. But with these guys, if you guys are going to keep them, all they need is right here, one pocket of their entire enclosure with humidity. The rest of it can be almost very close to bone dry. They like it like that, where they can really regulate themselves on the temperature over here. And that's why I have bigger holes cut out towards the dry side of the enclosure, just so they can, stay dry, but only get that humidity when they want it. That's where I messed up on these guys and the Expansis and all that when I first got them. I messed up horribly by making that mistake. But let's see, we already looked at the Silvestri. We have the Emperor bees, which are new, and the T albinos. The T albinos, I saw them the other day. There's like one in here, so you guys can see. Yeah, let me see if it is just the camera that needs to be cleaned off. Is that what it is? Oh yeah, there we go. A lot better. So there's just some of the T albinos. There's one. There's another one right there. These guys were given to us. We didn't ask for them, which I have no problem with, but we didn't ask for them. They were given to us, and we just tossed them in a bin, and there is a few more right there. But we don't have babies from these guys yet. All of them are doing fine. There's springtails inside the enclosure that are surviving on their own as well. So for me, if you have a healthy population of springtails, usually your isopods will do perfectly fine within there. I just got to add a little bit more leaf litter. But overall, these guys they're doing good. I just hopefully can see some babies before the end of the year is what my main goal is for a lot of these species that I'm taking out down here. Now, upstairs we have our, down here we have our clown bin as well, but upstairs we have like our orange powder, blue powder, the Pilioprosis species houses. This is just my wild type bin. And I caught these while I was outside, and I don't have these on the website at all for sale or anything like that, but I do keep these. There's tons of babies of them. There's different types of Armadillidium species in here, different morphs of them. And so this one, I don't have a name on just because I they're just a local species. There's another one with them on there. These guys have always done well for me. I had to restart this bin because it died for me from the ones that I had. I had them for a couple of years and the colony crashed on me. So I had to restart, and when I was redoing my garden area today, not today, but this year, I grabbed these guys, put them in a bin. I think I grabbed like 60 of them, put them in a bin, and they have just been doing good in there. We got our granulotums here. Granulotums are another species that I just have had a tough time with. I've bought I buy 50 at a time of these guys and put them in a bin, and you know there's one right there. They remind me a lot of the Armadillidium or A. gestroi, but you guys can see like they blend in a little bit. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's another one right here. They don't stay underneath the wood at all. They like to stay within the soil itself. So these guys are similar. They dig a lot more for me. I don't know if that's common with them, but you guys can see how they're moving around now. But I don't have babies from them. I've had these guys for a little bit. I'd say more than enough time to get babies, and with no holes in the back right here, it does keep it humid enough. What I would think is humid enough for the enclosure. I just haven't gotten babies from them just yet. These next 5 bins are some of our fun bins, but these guys are extremely slow breeders, and I did take a lot out of them at first. Here, let me lift that up and put that up there. These guys are extremely slow breeders. Oh, these 3 on the blue pigeons, I'm very confident this is the one. So I know I've had those for a while. I think I have blue pigeons and white pigeons, or white penguins. I don't know which one it was. But the emperor bees we just got. Here, let's take a look at these guys. Emperor bees. I don't even know if we'll be able to find any, honestly. Let's see if they hide. Oh, there they are. Those are emperor bees. So this is a cubaris species. You guys can see a little bit of the mold there. I just got to put some more springtails in here. But these guys, I just put them in here like a week and a half ago. So there's not much for me to say. Oh, well, I guess I don't have to put springtails. There's enough in there. But yeah, so I'm just waiting for these guys to have babies. I think I put around 20 in here. You guys can see when it was a $350 for a 10 count. And I put like 20 to 30 in here. I forgot how much we bought. But we spent so much money at Tinley, people were just giving us discounts, which was I had no problem with. And right here we have our blue pigeon. Our blue pigeons, these guys, let's take a look. They are, so here we have a few right there, adults in those cracks. I'll put this up here, but then down here, they're most likely going to be more towards, let's take a look. They're most likely going to be more towards the sphagnum moss. Yeah, so there goes some of the babies within there. And these guys are producing good, well enough for us. We do bring them to pet stores every now and then, but we're not producing enough. I'd say by 2024, I mean, you can see there is activity in here. There are babies. From starting off with 10 of these guys maybe like 6 months ago to having around 30 to 40 in the bin right now. And they weren't adults. Makes me still feel good about keeping them. Like I said, after this, see there's some movements. I don't know where did it just go? There was a baby over here, a mankai. There it is. But they're all throughout here. They're just small and they kind of blend in, so it's hard to see them. But this bin has been doing good for me. One of the bins that I'd say that I'm proud of for one of my first more expensive species keeping them. For me, I know people that have species that are like extremely expensive, extremely rare, or just harder to get. And you know, this doesn't make me feel like I have too many more expensive species. But then I see your guys' comments, and especially when it comes to the isopods, you guys love watching these videos. These are one of my most requested videos, is isopod videos. I guess a lot of people don't post them online too much of their own colonies. So in here, I have yeah, like I said, these tons of springtails. It is going to be harder to find some of these guys. This bin is, which one is it? It is my white duckies, and here's just one of them right here. You guys can see it in there. So in these bins I have, they're most likely going to be where the sphagnum moss is. I mean, here's one of them. Here's one of them right there. These guys are cool. I love how they look. I usually leave them alone for very specific reasons. Duckies are one of those species that if you leave alone, they'll breed for you. Oh my God, look guys. We got a baby. This is the first time I've seen them. Yes, we got babies. Where'd he go? Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? There you are. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. You guys see that baby? Look at the little face. So this is actually the first time I've had babies in here. These bins, I don't manage. I don't go over. I just come in, spray, and then close it with distilled water. In my soil mixes, if you guys want to know what the soil is that I use, since I've made this bin, I have added a new item to my substrate. But there is these little pebbles that you guys can go to Menards or Home Depot and get the pelletized limestone. And that's just what I add into their soil mixtures for them to actually do well. And as you can see, it's doing well. So I have, if you guys want to know what my mixture is, I use organic topsoil. I use, what is that? Organic topsoil, sphagnum moss, leaf litter. Now I use peat moss, the limestone, as well as, what is that? Wood pellets. So the ones that you use to grill, the hardwood oak pellets, or what are those? The different flavors, hickory pellets and stuff. Those are what I use. So you're gonna see those in a lot of not even the newer bins. Well, once I set these up, you will see those in those enclosures. But for now, you're not gonna see them in here. But what I did add in these at the time was going to be the limestone. So that's what that is, just limestone pellets mixed in with the soil. This is just the regular rubber ducky bin. Let's see if we have any in here. I took too many out of here before, so I tend to leave this bin alone. There's one of them right there. He's just hiding in there. They like to be in the seed pods. This is where I find them usually. There's another one right there. It's more of like a blonde ducky, but you know, if they get a little bit lighter, then I'll transfer them over to the blonde ducky bin. But for now, they are okay. Here's some of them, rubber duckies. These are the bins that I see that you guys are usually excited for. I don't see any babies as of right now, and I'm looking throughout the entire bin. Don't see any babies, but after I spray this bin today and just leave it alone, they're most likely going to be less stressed and then start breeding for us again. And we had babies from them. They did very well for us, but we took too many just because some of my friends asked for some. So we didn't even sell them to clients, but just some of my friends asked for some. Got the blonde duckies, and we ended up overtaking our bin thinking that we had more. So as you guys can see, I think we only have like an 8 count left that I just saw in there and that we're trying to catch back up. Here are our actual blonde duckies. So those are our 3 different species of duckies. I don't see any babies. Do you guys see any babies? Because I don't. I do see springtails, so that tells me that the enclosure is healthy. Here goes some more of the blonde duckies. But I'm still not seeing any of babies right now. Where is that? So blonde ducky, blonde ducky. We have a good amount of blonde duckies in here. And it's weird. Some people have cracked the code for their blonde duckies to do extremely well. Or not just their blonde duckies, but their duckies in general. But me, I have not. Not just yet. I had the rubber duckies at one point, and then, like I said, I took too many. So I'm trying to replicate those bins for the same as these guys, since it's the same animal, or same species at least. But that is just the 16 bins of what was up there. We still got a bunch more bins to go, so let me go ahead and set those up, and then I will be right back. Alrighty, so here we go. We got another 16 bins. I cleared out a lot of them. We still got like the Flavel marginatus. We got white sharks, which I'm not going to bring out. Those are extremely small. And I highly doubt that we're going to see them until they start breeding for us. So I'm just not going to bring them out or disturb them. They're kind of like dwarf whites, but expensive. So I'm just not going to mess with that bin. We do have the expanses, which I didn't even notice. Might as well. We only got these two bins. We got like chocolate zebras and stuff like this. These were bins that were given to me from my co-founder, which I had some at his house just in case any of my bins crashed. Seeing that they're doing good now, we decided to bring them over here. So for an experiment at a school. So I'm not going to worry about showing you guys those, but these bins, like the expansis and the Flavo marginatus, I'll take. And like over here, you guys can see like we have red tigers, magic potions, orange embers, shiru utsuri, white side, penguin white sides, and some other stuff. So I might, depending on how fast I get through some of these, I might just bring those out and show you guys. But for now, let's bring these two out, the Flavo marginatus and the expansis. All right, so Flavo marginatus, these guys have never bred too well for me either, but I set up their enclosure differently. I think I tried these guys a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and they didn't do well. But now, like, their enclosure is doing well. I'm keeping them a lot better than I was before. I still don't see any babies, or haven't gotten any babies from them just yet. But I don't think I got them as adults either. I think I got them as like juveniles and had to grow them up. So you guys can see the springtail abundancy in here is great. But I don't see any of the Flavo marginatus anywhere. So hopefully that is not a bad sign. Hopefully they're just digging a little bit. Oh, guys, look. There goes one of them. And that's on the dry side. Hopefully that one was just an older one that died because of old age or something. But this is unfortunate because I've actually been wanting to keep these and try and successfully breed them for a while now. And it looks like I'm still not able to get it just there. So we have to do more research on these guys and double it down just a little bit more before I get any more to try and keep. I don't see a single one. Not a single one. Tons of good isopods in here, so I know the enclosure itself is in good condition, but I don't know if these guys dig or what, but I did not see a single one, or if they just like more humidity and they're in the moss. I don't know. Now, the times that I've kept these guys, they have always lived for me and never just died off. I just never had it to where they were comfortable enough to breed in here. I just had the opportunity to get them one day, and I grabbed them. And this is where, before you get into a species, even if you have bins set up, like with me, I have tons of springtails and tons of things to get a bin already set up with the beneficial bacteria and stuff like that to set them up. But sometimes things like this happen where they just don't do too well. And I have to figure out why. I have to figure out the placement on the rack that I have them at, see if it was because it was too high, more towards the vent that's up there, which I have to finish painting the ceiling, so don't worry about that. But the vent that's up there, or if it was too low and too cold. This room is normal room temperature. I can walk around with a t-shirt on and feel perfectly fine, so I'm hoping it's not that. I know I said we're not going to look in here, but let's just, if they're not under this piece of wood right here, I'm not going to go around looking for them. Yeah, like I assumed we weren't going to see them. Yeah, so should have just left it alone like I said. But yeah, that's that bin. Let's start off with the rest of these. So the expanses. The expanses, I like having these guys. They are cool. They look cool. I like keeping them. Even though over here, like you guys can see, they are having babies. I'm keeping them the same way that I'm keeping the Hoffman SE. And these guys have been doing great for me. So you guys can see the amount of babies that are in there. Let's flip this over. See if there's any. Look at the coloration on these guys. And they are huge. Like here's my thumb again versus next to that one. I do want to get different variants of these. So right now these are just like technically the normal versions or normal variant of them. But I do want to get like some of the Magnificus orange and some other ones. But for now I just have the oak leaves in there. And they are doing well. Like here's a baby. right there that you guys can see. And you know, I got these more recently than I got the Hoffman SE guys. But to see that these guys are having babies for me is a good sign that you know, they're just starting to kick off. The environment is good, that they're happy and healthy. I don't mess with these guys much at all. I only spray the sphagnum moss the same way that I keep the Hoffman SE guy, and they like it like that. So I'd say you don't have to do cross ventilation necessarily, because I don't have cross ventilation, but having just bigger holes where there's enough ventilation, especially on the drier side, that's exactly how you want it for them to breed. So let's go ahead and put those over here on top of the white sharks, and then move on to the clown bin. Now, we used to breed clowns like crazy. You guys can see how they are now. We used to breed them like crazy, and then for a long time, we just could not breed them anymore. Now we have a good amount from some of the ones that we've bred as well as bought, and we have like the Springtails doing great. Moss is doing great, still damp. You guys can just see within this alone, we have tons of clowns in here. Now, with how popular clowns are, we have more. A lot more are with all the leaf litter. A lot of them like to stay underneath here, so you guys can see, like, we have more than what you can see within this enclosure of clowns. But with all the leaf litter, they have food everywhere, they have the humidity everywhere, they have humidity under the leaves, so they kind of go wherever they want in this enclosure, which is cool. I like that. I'm happy with it. My clowns are my favorite. They are my original favorite species ever, and I'm always going to have a soft spot for these guys. But I sold maybe 600 at March of Tinley March. The March show of Tinley in 2022. We weren't selling on the website yet, but we had so many that I didn't know how fast that they would sell. So I put them up as a wholesale thing, and people bought the mess out of them. And I think we had like 20 left out of the 600 that we bred. And you guys can see that on my original TikToks for the Featured Creatures TikTok. You guys can see that on there. And they were doing great for us. And for some reason, I just could not get them back to how they were. These are going to be our Panda Kings. We also have red pandas, which I'm going to be showing you in a second. Our Panda Kings, I mean, you should not have, if you get pandas, if you don't have them already, I'd advise getting them. These guys will breed easily for you. They have nice coloration. You guys can mix these with red pandas because they're the same thing, just a different variant. But really just keeping them by themselves like here. As you guys can see, they're plentiful. Not anything I have to worry about. As long as you have the hardwood leaves in there and a little bit of humidity, these guys are going to do great. These are one of those ones where they just need a good variant, like most isopods, and they're going to breed real well for you. Like they like to stay under the wood, so you're not going to see too much under here. Not until I spray this, because this enclosure is a little bit drier. But one of the things you don't want to do is ever drop a leaf or let them have an escape route. So I tend to keep things away from these holes because I do not put vents over them. I know a lot of people do. I don't. I just don't. You can if you want to. I just keep things away from the holes, and that's it. And I'll just keep like the plastic clean. I'll just wipe it every now and then with some vinegar, a little bit diluted vinegar. Helps get any like hard water or calcium off. If you do use tap water, which I used to use on all of mine, and they did perfectly fine. But now we have an RO system, or reverse osmosis system, that we use, and you know, they've all been doing good since then. Let's put that up here. Now this one right here is going to be our yellows. I crossed that out. This was originally a dart frog bin, just like those other ones I have back there. But now it is not a dart frog bin. This is our zebra bin, our yellow zebras to be exact. These guys, there's one of them. They have that nice, bright, vivid yellow in them. These guys are doing great. I mean, they breed just like regular zebras. Springtails in here doing great. Humidity, as you guys can see, is doing good. These guys we just invested into, so I'm not expecting to see a lot of babies right now. But our chocolate zebras have a lot of babies, as well as our, I don't want to move around like everything and start disturbing them, really, but I'm going to anyways for you guys, for the fans. Let's see if I even have any more. I think we only bought 10 of them. Here's another one right there, and then now there's that one. And now I guess they're starting to move around. But they have a nice humidity gradient in here where it's very humid towards the back, and that's why we like the microfauna in there, the springtails. It's just a great habitat for them. And you know, I like to set up habitats like this to where it has a great variant, because if I ever need springtails to put back in somewhere else, I could just take them out of these bins, put them on sphagnum moss, put them just on clay, reculture them, and then just spread them around the enclosure. These guys, as you can see, have a lot of leaves in there. So I'm going to leave them alone, let them go ahead and breed out for us, and start off another one that I think I got a month and a half ago, which are Dalmatians. You know, we did a lot of our business from just basic species, which were zebras, clowns, orange Dalmatian, prunosis, lavis species like dairy cows and stuff like that, that we didn't highly go into a lot of these other ones. But these are our Dalmatians. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. You guys can see they just have that spotting on them. We have the orange Dalmatians breeding like crazy for us, but we just for some reason didn't, like, we got into these guys earlier on, and then they crashed on us, you know, doing new things as a beginner that we shouldn't have done. These guys just crashed on us, and I never got back into them. I don't know why. I'm so glad that we got back into them now. I mean, they're doing great for us, but I don't know why we just never did. We took maybe a year and a half before we even got them again. And I saw them at shows, and we were like, well, why don't we get some more of the less expensive species for other people to enjoy and breed those out? And here we have, these guys are going to be our Espagnoli. Pretty sure I'm saying that right. These guys, I mean, like I said, a lot of these are our newer species for us. We bought a bunch of the lower end species as well as some higher end species around the same time. These guys are doing fine. I mean, they live in the enclosure, they move around, they're happy, just like that one. They have leaf litter everywhere. I can put a different thing of wood in here, but they're doing perfectly fine being in the middle. Where's that? Right there. That there's no point in changing them out. I'll just leave them like that until they start having babies. Let's go ahead and move these over here. So then that bin right there is pineapple. If you guys can look up pineapple isopod, they have like some spikes on them. I'm not going to show you. Same reason for the white sharks is that they're smaller, and I don't even want to stress them out because we just put them in the bin not too long ago. But let's go to our Valencia. This is helping my wrist strength. Over here, dang, this video is 39 minutes already. Oh, well, 40 minutes. Down here is our Valencia. These guys are breeding real well for us, as you guys can see. I have no problems with breeding these. I had them for a while. They did great for us, extremely well. I procrastinated on changing out their enclosure to a different one, and they crashed. So now I'm on top of my game a little bit more with them, and we got them maybe 2 months ago, and as you guys can see, they're established, having babies, and doing well. Let's put them over here and scoot things over. There we go. Alright, so we got the Dalmatians. I'll put those over here. And then, as well as these guys, that's my root beer. I'll put those up there. Those are the yellow zebras. And now let's move on to these. I might just go ahead and make those into that second video that I was talking about, because this video is already at 40 minutes and I don't want it to be over an hour. So, but let's finish off with these guys. We have red pandas. So I already see what my problem is here, or what my problem is going to be here. I ended up putting the moss that the red pandas were in, because there were so many of them in the cups in here, and I'm probably just going to have to take that moss out today when I go through the bin, because you guys can see all the leaves that I have that are under that, because I don't want any of this mold growing like that. So I'm just going to keep that in the corner, confined. But let's see if we can find any of the red pandas. Yeah, it's not looking like it. So let me just go right here. open up this. So these are our Springtails. So we do every now and then. We had a lot of our bins crashed because when I first moved into this house, the temperature upstairs where I had a lot of the isopods was great. And it was perfect for isopod breeding. You guys can see all the Springtails. There we go. See if you guys can see that. Yeah, so I'm gonna toss a bunch of Springtails in there. So then the area upstairs was great temperature wise and everything like what I'm used to breeding in, but when I only check on them once every week and a half, when the temperature rose up there, I didn't realize how non-insulated the attic was. Because from the inside, when you stand in there, it looks insulated. When it was in the winter, when the heat wasn't even on, it wasn't really too cold at all. Seemed like it was perfectly fine where they can tolerate it. They may slow down breeding a little bit, but it felt like they can tolerate it. But now it's not like that. These guys, the springtail bins that we had, all of them tended to pass away. And we had like 30 master colonies. And when I say master colonies, we had some really good colonies in there. If you guys go on our Facebook page, you guys can see what colonies I'm talking about and how big they were. We had 30 of those guys. We sell them at every single show. And we had to restart every single one of them because none of them survived because of the heat. So with that and some of the, with that and some of the isopods, we had to restart on a lot of things. So that's why we have smaller colonies from what you guys have seen in previous videos. And here we have our orange Viger bin. These guys, don't let it fool you. There's a lot of them in here. You guys can see what's on there and here. These guys like to dig. At least for me, they like to dig. Like they're always going to be on the soil, in the soil. These guys, there's plenty of them. Don't let them fool you. I know it's harder to see it on camera, but in person you would see kind of like how many they are. They like to be all throughout the enclosure. They don't care if it's moist. They don't care if it's dry. They're going to do well for you. So that's our orange Vigers. We got a couple more bins: Hassai High Yellow, Zingers, Lava, and Sinodella. And those are going to be the Vietnamese species. I got these. They looked very cool. They're not breeding for me just yet. I think I got them around July, maybe August. They are fast. You guys, I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a fast one. These guys are doing good. Like they're living for me. I haven't seen any babies. Oh, actually, never mind. You guys can see that. That was a baby. These guys are just fast. Like look at them. They're more of like a bluish to red coloration versus like the other ones. Which ones were they? Where'd I put those? The Silvestri, those were like lavas. They were like a gray or a slate to orange coloration. These guys are like more of a bluish to orange, which is what I loved about them when I first originally bought them. They're gonna hide throughout the enclosure, but they're fast. So if you disturb something around them, and then with all the coverage that I have for them, it's gonna be hard to find them, hard to see them. But seeing a baby in here makes me feel confident, makes me feel good about the colony in and of itself. But as you guys can see, we didn't buy many of them. We bought one cup. They're hiding. Let me zoom out so you guys can see some of them. Like there's one right there. They are fast. They're like almost just as fast as like the Pilioprosis. But it's like when they move, they have a specific place that they're trying to go. Versus the Pilioprosis, they're just like moving around just to move around. So I'll put these guys back in there and leave them alone. 45 minutes. Let's see if we can make this a 50-minute video with just some of the isopods. Oh, so that's what happened. All right, guys. So I saw that over there. I thought that was the only part that I had to clean up. But let me go actually just take this lid off, and then I'll fix this later. What that is not from the one that's right there, but it is root beer. I didn't knock it over, but it just wasn't cleaned up. I thought that all that dried up over there was it, but apparently not. I thought it was cleaned up and that was it, but yeah, like I said, apparently not. And here are our zingers. Now, if you guys don't know what zingers are, they're just Armadillidium gestroy, but with white dots instead of yellow. So it's like you guys can see they're just white. Sometimes they have like a yellowish tint, but for the most part they're just white. Like that one is just white. In the coloring it looks a little yellow, but trust and believe, if you were to see them in person, they're just white in color. I am going to be getting a new camera, or we did get a new camera. I just don't know how to use, like these guys. They breed so well for us. They breed so well. Now they're just growing up, and then they're going to breed as well, and we're going to be perfectly fine having these. I might pick out, they are still gestroy, so any ones that I see that are yellow, sometimes if they're babies, I'll just leave them in here until they get a little bit bigger of a size before they get to breeding size, and then I'll just take them out then. I'm in here. The soil, or this sphagnum moss, you guys can see has nice humidity to it, so I'll maintain that bin a little bit later. But those guys are doing well. Our lavas, these guys, we have some that have like not too much color differentiation in them, but we have the other ones in here that are like pure lavas like that. So we're just gonna have them breed a little bit more in here, and all the babies will just come out like normal lavas. This bin I am gonna have to change out because this doesn't affect your isopods, but it is just unsightly, and if you just let that grow, it will become a problem later on. Not to the health of them necessarily, but you just don't want to spread that out from bin to bin to bin, so it's best to get rid of that as early as you see it. And our last bin is going to be a really nice species of mine. I like having these the same way that I like having the Hoffman SE guys and Expansis. These guys are going to be the Hassai High Yellows. Yeah, I've been using these kind of like as the labels. Let's see how these are doing for us. There they are. So these are really nice. I keep them, like I said, the same as like the Hoffman SE guys, where I just have, like, there's not too much humidity at all that goes on here. It all comes from over here. Springtails and everything are doing great, but I don't see any babies of these guys. Now, I might just have to buy more. I forgot which species was the most territorial, but I don't know if that's because they need a bigger bin. I just don't have any babies yet. I thought I saw some before. Maybe it was just the Expanses that I was thinking of, baby-wise. But you guys can see, like, here's some of them right there. Let's see if there's any babies anywhere. There's some more that are right there. There's some more that are within there. I think these might be some of the babies, but they just kind of grew up. So I don't mess with this bin too much. I kind of just leave them alone so they can breed within there. But yeah, that is it. That is all the bins as of right now, other than these guys that I have to go over. Plastic wrap, because I put some plastic wrap over there just to make sure it keeps humidity in for those dart frogs. You guys can see the one king of the dart frogs right there. That's in a blue Azurius, Dendrobates, Tinctorius, Azurius dart frog right there. And we got a pair in there. They're not breeding size just yet, but within the next month or two, they are going to start having eggs. So once these guys start having eggs, I'm going to be making videos of them. But for now, to finish off this video, I really do hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for staying tuned. I know it's been a while since I made a video like this, but we are going to be going over the other isopods. I'm most likely going to finish that video tomorrow and post that in a couple days. So if you guys are interested in that, please stay tuned. Come back on the channel maybe by Thursday. Today is Monday. So by Wednesday or Thursday, I should have that video uploaded. I'm uploading this one right as we speak. Today is Monday. I think it's the 23rd or 24th of October of 2023. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like that like button. Like the like button, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 followers, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway once we hit the 1,000 followers, and then be shipping it to someone. and I'm going to be announcing that within the next video for the 2023 Isopod Tour. So if you guys are interested in that giveaway and you guys want to see some details on that, like I said, just go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!